Songhai get a nerf, neutral minions get some love, and a few new cards. That's what's happening in Duelyst patch 0.0.19. It is I, 8-Bit Matt, and I'm alone this week. Fork is under the weather, but hopefully he will be back next week to join me. But on to the patch. First off, we've got some sweet new animations to the opening experience of booster packs. Gosh, look at that. Sliding all over the place. It looks awesome. Can't wait to see this evolve further. Again, it looks awesome. I need some packs to open now. Gimme. On to the big stuff. We've got two new cards. We have the Kickstarter-backed design card, Lux Ignis. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. It is created by our very own Eclipse, so you can thank or be mad at him for making this insane card. It is a 5 cost, 2 attack, 5 health ranged minion that will give 2 health to all allied minions at the end of the turn. Monster card. And yeah, can't wait to put it in my deck. It looks fantastic. Another scary card that's been added to the mix is Mind Steal. This is a 3 mana cost card for Magmar, and it steals a random minion from the opponent's deck and summons it. That is terrifying. That, if you got a lot of heavy minions in that deck, you better look out. Magmar's got some scariness happening at you. Plenty of card changes this week. We'll start off with the neutral minion cards. We've got the Planner Scout. Originally was a 1/2, has been tweaked to a 2/1. Still has airdrop, still 1 cost. I personally think this is a pretty big change. Before a 1/2, not really too scary. Wasn't going to hurt any of my minions that had dropped down because again that 1 damage. But having 2 damage gives it a little more threat potential, especially cleaning out a lot of cards that have that 2 health, that nice threshold. So interested to see how this really affects, countering plays and removing a few additional cards. But again, 1 damage can easily be killed by Blood Tier Alchemist and several other things. So we'll see, but I'm positive for it. I think it'll make plays a little more aggressive when you're dropping him. Our Swamp Entangler gets I think this is a buff, a 1 cost 0/3 provoke. Originally he was a 1/1. Really low cost provoke card. Throw him out there, throw some buffs on him. Could be pretty devastating and very cheap. Strong provoke card that you could build. Next we have Piercing Mantis. He's been buffed to a 2/3. Originally he was a 1/1 with Frenzy. Still has Frenzy. I just think this makes him a little more viable. He's trying to take place of that old Coiled Crawler spot, in my opinion. Buff him up a little bit, just like that Entangler, and you got a scary minion on your hands. This one is exceptionally terrifying for me, though. Primus Fist has been buffed, in my opinion. He is still 2 cost, but now he is a 2/3, and his opening gamut gives every friendly minion +1 attack. Before he gave 1 friendly minion a plus or provoke, giving plus attack to 2 or 3 minions can be really, really devastating. So I like the build into this nice kind of burst threat, and again he's got that 1 extra health, so he's above that 2 health threshold that I think is pretty important. Murkblood Devourer. I know Fork was a huge fan of this card. I'm not really sure if this is a nerf or a buff, but now he's a 0/4, still 3 mana cost. When summoned, nearby enemies gain, or he gains +1/+1. Again, like I said, low cost card, kind of like an equivalent to the Portal Guardian. Yeah, interested to see how this card goes, but still solid card, just really rare. Don't have one. Haven't been able to experience him originally. All right. Some of you will be happy. Some of you will be sad. There's a few of the nerfs to the Songhai deck. Up first is the Mana Vortex. Same cost, 0 cost. Next spell you cast this turn is 1 less. But instead of drawing a card immediately, you draw a card at the end of your turn. This is to prevent continually stacking and bursting people down. So I think this is a nice change. You're still getting the same rewards for those things. They're just not instant. You have to wait a little bit. Jade Monk takes a hit. Same cost, same stats, but loses its provoke. So again, I'm okay with this. You know, they removed Primus Fist, so there's not a way to provoke it like that. But yes, I mean, it's still a strong card. You're still going to dish out a lot of damage with them. They're just not required to attack them immediately. So yeah, but I mean, it was a really strong card for a 3 cost. So glad to see that bouncing out. This might be, not sure if this is too heavy of a nerf, but we'll see. Twin Strike is the other one, dealing 2 damage to 2 random enemies, and then drawing a card at the end of the turn. Again, it's this theme of playing a card and then waiting till the end of your turn to draw it, which is interesting. I think it will help pace them out a little bit more. They were able to draw so many cards per turns with all these low-cost spells, so I'm interested to see how this works out. Probably give you some more thoughts about this next week after I play some matches. All right, on to Vetruvain. Fountain of Youth now is still 2 costs, but restores all health to friendly minions. So originally it would give 4 health to your general and draw a card. I'm a little, I don't know, I'm on the fence on this one. I was a huge fan of the Fountain of Youth. Healing and drawing a card for 2 costs seemed fair to me. But healing all your minions, I'm in this weird place. Like, that sounds really good, but it sounds very situational. I guess we'll just have to see how that pans out. But I'm bummed to see that heal go away. Now I'm not sure if they have any other way to heal spell wise. But yeah, so we'll see how this one goes as well. Up next, we have changes to Abyssin. It is a Soul Shatter Pact. Originally, this card was a 3 cost, been dropped to a 2 cost, and it gives the same buff, give all friendly minions to attack this turn. Seems super strong, making it cost 1 less, even better. I'm not sure what kind of like the reason behind dropping it 1. Maybe it helps you combo into something a little bit better. But all in all, makes them just a little more bursty, a little stronger, be able to play a little bit more that turn. So yeah. Excited to see how that one goes. On to Magmar. We have the Greater Fortitude. Give 1 friendly minion 2/2. And it has just been reduced in price. So that's a nice little, again, dropping it by 1 cost. That's a recurring theme this week, is reducing those buffing spells. I think it's to help buff some of these early game minions and get them a little more play in the deck. So yeah, excited to see that. Everyone's favorite good old War Beast has been buffed in a sense. He got 1 health back, so he's now a 4/4. Still has Rush, still has Frenzy, but they upped his cost from 5 to 6. I'm okay with this change. Granted, they have a lot of ways to bring minions in quicker at lower health, and this just gives them a chance of maybe sticking around 1 extra turn or 1 extra hit before he gets taken care of. So I'm a fan. Like I said, he got nerfed pretty hard last patch, I think. And like I said, we'll see if this brings him back. Well, he's always been around, but we'll see if I start to see even more of them again. That does it for all the card changes. There were a few ability changes, there's just 1. Frenzy, it now only activates in melee range, meaning you must be next to a minion that can strike you back. Before, there were ranged minions that had Frenzy and they were attacking something across the board and hitting Frenzy for everything around it as well. It has now been changed, so it's, this is for Mechazor and anything else you can buff into that. Meaning if you attack range, you don't get the buffs from Frenzy. Obviously vice versa. They updated the mulligan screen, so this is the screen you start off on where you've got the few cards. You got to select them and remove them, and can't wait to see that. Looking forward to see what that looks like. They also updated the sound effects and sound effects for the victory screen and rewards, so looking forward to those. There's a few minor bug fixes that have happened, but all in all, that's all for this patch. Jumping back to the recap for 0.0.18, one of the cards that we forgot to cover, and that's our fault, was the Cosmic Flesh. Gotta get my cards right here. And this, it's a Vetruvain card, gives 1 friendly minion +2 attack, +4 health, and provoke for 4 mana is devastating. I've been putting this in my deck. You guys can check out the Make-A-Wish deck that I made last week. And this is a serious card. This puts some serious potential on a lot of low-cost minions. Granted, it is a 4-cost, so it has its has its weaknesses, but a really strong card. I've been stacking it a lot with the Sand Howler, and it is just super tough to deal with. So yeah, I mean, I think this card is one. Like I said, we missed it, but it is devastating. Some of the changes to the wishes are great. I haven't played too much with the other classes, so I don't know. I haven't really experienced any of their changes. I know I've seen a very different playstyle from Lionar, using a lot more high, heavy hitting, lots of health minions, and removing some of their damage or life to give them damage. I've seen that happen a lot. So I like that kind of build and that mentality. So I'm hoping to see more of that happen going forward. But all in all, I was excited about patch 0.0.18. Starting to really give each faction, like, you can tell what they're kind of going for, right? Vetruvain have lots of drawing cards. I think patch just kind of solidifies that, makes some changes, and makes some neutral minions a little more viable. But guys, that's going to do it for this week's patch notes. What patch, what part of the patch are you excited about? Do you miss Fork like I miss Fork? Gosh, get back here, Fork. Get better soon. Like I said, let me know in the comments below.